the other one more, you know?
Yeah.
Yo, all right, okay.
Welcome to the live stream. Hopefully the for real one.
Yeah, same. Did you just get a notification for the live stream?
No, I'm getting Snapchats from Zach, who needs to get his butt on here
Yeah.
and watch us instead of the Falcon 9 launch.
I'm trying to find the live stream now. Here it is.
Is the audio working? Moment of truth. Hey!
Hear that echo?
Yeah. Well, I think it's because of the you're playing it.
Well, I think it's because of you're playing it. Well, I think it's because of That's fucking funny, man. That's fucking funny, man. This is gonna be in a new video called Winston Discovers Loops. I hope you enjoy this.
All right, turn that off.
That was gonna get terrible. It was
Oh, yeah.
like, it was gonna be what? Like, it was just gonna continue. The loop would continue. So eventually, like after a minute, you'd have like 60 minutes of audio replaying every single second.
Yep.
Nice.
Crazy.
Oh, we got two. Hold on, I'm gonna share this on Snapchat.
Okay.
Oh, and Twitter, because now we know it works.
Yep. Gotta share
And I gotta
that
send
on
you the new
Twitter.
link.
Yep. Conor McGregor, the Georgie. That's who we're gonna be talking about in his bus incident.
Ah.
Do you know who the Georgie is?
No. Don't tell me though. We can talk about it later. Never. Like 7 followers on here. Pretty big.
Oh yeah.
No, I would rather not follow YouTube.
Here, go back to the YouTube one real quick.
What?
The Georgie said something.
Who? Oh, what does that say?
Khabib because of
McGregor.
ugly sheeps.
Who,
Need to get some
Conor?
Russian AK-47 or something. Or Georgian big penis in their uncivilized. Oh my gosh.
Nice. Thanks, the Georgie. You're dope.
Georgie, do you speak Russian? Я
Bro.
говорю немного по-русски.
I'm gonna pin this to the top. How do I pin that? Do I have to pin it beforehand?
I don't know.
Fuck, I can't. This is my channel. This is
leave
blasphemy.
It. Just leave it. We'll talk about stuff.
Okay. Hold on. I'm signing in as myself, and then I'm gonna go retweet that, and then sharing this on the Snap.
Give us a few moments.
Yeah, literally like 30 seconds.
We're
I'm
getting
messing this in all
everything
my
set up.
groups.
We had some trouble getting it started off.
What am I make too many groups, man.
Yeah, you do.
Sorry. Oops. Sorry, not sorry though. I wish you could put a caption when you share stuff on, you know, the interwebs for Snapchat. There's one more person I have to find. What was fuck? What a screw it. I actually just remembered who it was. Fuck, whatever. All right, cool. And we're live. Boom.
And we're live.
I wish I didn't have to add a comment. I like the old retweet thing better. All right. I'm from Russia.
No, I'm not Russian.
Does that ask if you're Russian?
Yeah, I'm actually just learning it in college. Я учусь я учусь русский язык. Я изучаю русский язык в университете в Арканзасе. That's cool though. We got a Russian viewer.
Wow. Yo, subscribe. We actually have Russian lessons from this ugly motherfucker here.
Yeah, you could.
We're uploading another one hopefully tomorrow, but I don't promise times anymore. But yeah, we are doing that. So if you want to hop in and just criticize those and tell him how bad he is at speaking Russian.
Yeah, you could. My Russian teacher already tells me. She's crazy, man.
That's funny.
Here, let me share that link.
Yeah, I just texted it to you.
Yeah.
I corrected live to Louvre. First day I listen and watching on stream. Oh yeah. I wonder if there's like any laws in Russia, like if it like on streaming, because like they have a pretty conservative government still. But like
they have some censorship, I know, but
yeah.
How do I add a link into my Snapchat thing?
It's in the settings.
Oh, here we go.
Or no, like you add it on, and yeah, no, we have listeners from a couple different. We have some in Vietnam and some in the UK and now Russia, and then yeah, all over, man. It's pretty. I'm actually kind of hyped about it. But yeah, we just got into live streaming today. This is actually our. Hey, they said something in Russian. But yeah, no, this is actually our first live stream ever.
It's a nice English interpretation. Меня зовут неплохо.
You don't have to tell me what they're saying if they're just roasting me. But yeah, it's I'm excited for the future of the podcast. Should be fun. I'm trying to have it show the video on my thing so I can screenshot it and share the screenshot. They said what? You said something wrong, I think.
I don't know what it was.
It's embarrassing, dude. But
oh, Cocktibier is shoot. Oh man, sorry. I'm not thinking straight right now.
Ian,
I was thinking you said Cocktail.
And never mind.
Yeah, so Меня зовут Ian. Sorry about that.
Меня зовут Winston.
Yeah. There you go. I'm still learning. Trying my best though. I actually said my name is not bad.
That's embarrassing, man.
I know.
Hopefully your name isn't bad.
Yeah, I like my name.
Yeah, I mean it's Ian. It was sick how when I made your LinkedIn though that you just have Mannecke. As like your LinkedIn is linkedin.com/Mannecke.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was dope. I'm so jealous, honestly, because if mine could be Robson or something or Winston, but like,
thank you, Spasiba. Hey, we got 4 viewers now.
That's sick, man. Talk to me, people. What do you wish to know about?
I think it's actually a Scottish name, from what I know. It might be from multiple countries, but
Ian's talking to a guy in Russia. If you don't know what's going on,
yeah,
with that,
he's in the chat.
All right.
let's get talking about stuff.
Yeah. All right. What's first?
Conor McGregor.
What a fucking idiot.
Oh gosh, it's a nightmare.
Yeah. So what do you think about that?
So, for those of you who don't really know what's going on,
Up there.
For those of you who don't really know what's going on with Conor McGregor,
Rookie.
I think it was yesterday he had an altercation where he started a fight with a whole bus of UFC fighters, and like he really just attacked them. There wasn't much like backwards fighting going. Yeah, much retaliation going on.
Well, they were leaving media day from what I understand.
Yeah.
And so you know how they have those events where like McGregor usually shows up late, but he's not fighting this time, so he didn't show up at all because he's not supposed to be there. Because they're independent contractors, they're not actually employees of the UFC. So if you're not fighting, there's no reason to show up whatsoever.
Oh yeah.
And so Khabib had started some stuff with one of McGregor's dogs the night before or something. So McGregor flies over on a private jet. And I still don't get how he went through the whole thought process and went, yeah, this is still a good idea.
See, I understand where he's coming from and the fact that the whole reason that this started was Khabib was picking on one of McGregor's boys. And like, this is the fight game. These guys are filled with a bunch of testosterone and they're going to want to...
And coke.
Yeah. And they're going to want to fight each other. And I get where his thought process is, but take that out solely on Khabib. Don't go to like all these other MMA fighters. And like, he apologized for it afterwards. He didn't want those people to get hurt. Like,
well, he hasn't officially released a statement that we get that he apologized from Dana White.
Yeah, that's true.
Through text. So we don't actually know if he really apologized.
He didn't apologize for the incident. He feels this incident was justified, but overall he like apologized that the people who did get hurt got hurt, according to Dana.
Right. Well, what happened was he threw a dolly, and this is why I wish we had the video stream on the thing.
Yeah.
But he throws a dolly through the window of the bus, and it hits some guy.
I think it's Michael something.
Yeah, who's fighting. And here, actually, just type in. I'll just search it so we can read it. And so he hits the guy, and that guy may not even be able to fight.
Yeah, he's got a couple abrasions. And then there was another guy who, when the glass shattered, it went into kind of like a dust form, and it scratched his retina.
Yeah,
or his cornea, probably.
Pretty serious.
I know Dana said retina, but it's probably his cornea.
Yeah,
which that's not good at all. Like, you just can't have that happen. Like, yes, these are fighters that like that's what they're trained to do is fight, and they get hurt in fighting. But this is a completely different situation, having like being on peaceful times and just kind of getting attacked by Conor McGregor. I'm a huge Conor McGregor fan myself, but he should have taken this incident out on Khabib and Khabib alone, and not all these other people that were on the bus.
Well, you could tell that he wasn't really thinking through it, and that, like, why would you throw a dolly first off? Because that has some serious weight behind it. And then why would you throw it into a bus where you have no way of knowing who's on the bus? And I'm just, because there was a guy who was on the card who was with him, and now he's off the card. But I'm just wondering, like, all the guys around him, how did they not like stop him from doing that? And then the guys who let him in, how they got into the stadium was two guys from the Mac Life, which is Conor's one of his companies. It's on YouTube at the Mac Life, and basically they put out videos of Conor training, everybody else training, just random thoughts about stuff related to MMA and jiu-jitsu. And two of those guys let him in because they were allowed to film at the media day. And so I'm surprised they actually let him in, because if that would have been my boss, I would have just been like, no, fuck you. That's a bad idea.
Well, Conor McGregor's got that power that he can just fire any of them. And I'm sure they're getting paid big bucks for being like his little personal filmers and running around filming him everywhere. So I'm sure they didn't want to lose that job. And a lot of them might have been on the side of McGregor, because McGregor had a whole posse with him when he attacked this bus. Like, he had like 20 plus guys.
Right.
And if the Mac Life people let them in my opinion, they either did it because of fear. Like, there's 20 angry guys coming at them, telling them to open the thing, or they did it because they are close to Conor, and they wanted him to do what he wanted to do to Khabib.
Right. But yeah, I just don't. There's not much logic behind the whole thing. And how do you think that the UFC is going to react to that?
Well, judging based off Dana White's statements earlier, whenever he was directly asked if he was going to fire McGregor, and he's like, "Oh man, this whole situation's bigger than McGregor." He's doing his old thing where
That
he's
sounds
like
a big fuck no.
He's just walking around the question. So like, I don't think we're gonna have, like, if Conor wants to come back and fight in the UFC, it depends on if he's even going to jail or not, because there are some charges, I believe, being pressed against him.
Yeah, well, it depends on how much he gets sued too.
Yeah,
because they're like, if all the people in the bus sue him, I'm sure they could get a decent amount of money each, even if you're in the back of the bus.
Yeah, and that Rose person probably is gonna try to sue him for at least some mental damage, because she was pretty shaken up by the whole incident.
Yeah, well, I mean, those dollies weigh what, 50, 100 pounds. Like, that's one thing people are kind of ignoring. Was it's kind of impressive that he can pick that up and throw it. Like that shows some real physical strength there.
It was a pretty big dolly. Like, there's some dollies that don't weigh that much, but that was a pretty big one.
Yeah, I mean, it shattered the window, so it was definitely metal. But you know, it's interesting that, just because he always talks about how small his circle is, and that, all right, well, you have a small circle of 20 guys you're going to fly on a private jet, which, first off, if you own the jet, that's going to cost you anywhere from, $2,000 to $10,000. If you're renting the jet, that's 50 grand easy 50 grand, up to 100, 200, 300 grand that he's just dropping to fly over there.
Yeah, but he knows that these guys got his back. Like,
yeah,
he's got that close circle of guys who.
Well, yeah, but close circle of 20. That seems.
I mean, they all had his back. They followed him.
Yeah, true, but none of them. He's the one who threw the dolly.
Yeah, that's true.
And so that it just doesn't seem logical to me.
I honestly thought that it was like kind of a big like show thing, and then I saw that.
I thought it was fake at first.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was fake, and I thought that they were just doing it to promote the fights and stuff. But after like seeing that Conor actually got arrested, and like he had a warrant out for his arrest and all that sort of thing, and he was put on the no-fly list, like his passport was stamped.
Yeah,
like that's real stuff. You can't do showmanship of that.
Right. Well, also, even if they did do showmanship of that, they would have made sure to like tell the people, hey, don't take it this far.
Yeah, exactly. Like nobody would be pressing charges or anything.
Right. And also, I mean, there was something that ESPN said that it's kind of interesting that Dana White was so ready to go and ready to appear on all these TV shows just the next day even. But like, if you think about it, that's his job. Like his job isn't to regulate the UFC per se, but it's to put out a good public image and maintain the face of the company. That's really the job of most CEOs to a certain extent. And so I didn't see it as a surprise that he was ready to go, ready to come out on TV, say the exact things that he's saying, because he's probably rehearsed it to a certain extent, because his job is to prepare for the worst possible physical altercation, or somebody to die in the ring, or somebody to rob somebody, or I mean, John Jones failing the drug test 3 times.
Yeah,
he has to be able to make a statement because he's the one who's expected to make a statement.
That's part of being the CEO.
Right.
He's got to handle these situations.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that even though this wasn't like a staged thing for the UFC, I think it's definitely going to bring about a lot of promotion.
Yeah,
for
I don't
the
think
UFC.
it's going to be bad for him long term. Short term, maybe I doubt anything happens.
Well, I think short term, it's definitely going to put a damper on the number of people who go to watch the fight coming up this weekend, just because.
I think it would raise it.
Really?
Yeah, because you're going to have people who have to step in at the last minute because that one guy's off the card. So I'm sure they're going to try to find a replacement if they're able to find a replacement for that. And then also, if the guy who got the glass in his eye is off the card, they're going to need to find a replacement for that.
See, that's why I'm thinking that the numbers are going to drop, because it's not the original fighters that people wanted to see.
True, but I don't know, because it happened so recent. If it would have happened like the day of the fight, I think it would have brought more viewers because bars and stuff would have paid for it already, and then people would have already had plans. But since it happened on Thursday, it's you got 48 hours, over 60 hours basically to react.
Yeah.
And that's long enough to make new plans.
It's long enough to make new plans, but the fights, in my opinion, aren't going to be as good because you're going to be picking out these guys who are not on their fight camp right now.
Right.
And they're not training to be in a fight. And they're just kind of being pulled from their little like break period.
Yeah.
Unless they're training for a fight that they were going to fight later on and they just moved it up.
That's fair. But, yeah, the whole thing's screwed basically. I'm wondering how much money it's going to end up costing because that one guy who's off the card who was with McGregor, now the guy he was fighting, he probably doesn't get paid.
Yeah.
And so that means all of his team doesn't get paid. All of his coaches don't get paid. All of his promotion isn't promoted. It's like nothing ever happened. And so the 6 to 18 weeks prior to this, like, are basically gone. I mean, obviously the physical shape's there and the how to prepare for a fight, because every time you prepare for a fight, it's different. But you learn stuff from the past time, you know? I mean, it's kind of sad, honestly. But, I mean, I've been thinking this whole, what is this, UFC? What's the number?
I want to say 223, but I'm not 223?
Sure. 223?
I could be completely wrong on that.
Let's see if we can Google that real quick. Yeah. There's a new lead event. Khabib versus who?
Al La Quinta.
Who? Yeah, Khabib's the new main event. That's interesting. That means the girl isn't fighting because she was the main event. The one that
Rose Nema.
Yeah, she was the main event.
Yeah.
The events were Friday. No, today is Friday.
No, today is Friday.
The bout came after a chain of events. New York Athletic Commission pulled Max Holloway. Who's Max Holloway? Out of you. Oh, that's the guy who was with McGregor.
Oh,
so that means Khabib found a fighting partner. Told you they could find a replacement. There's always somebody ready to go, man. There's always somebody ready to go. Featherweight champion. He was the champion.
Has been pulled from Saturday Night.
Oh, he was medically unfit. So he wasn't the one with McGregor then.
No, he was probably either the guy who got the cuts or the guy who got the glass in his eye.
I would assume he's the guy who, however, he wished to continue. They put a hold on his weight cut at the time of the decision. The UFC, Conor McGregor fought the boss. Holloway, 26, accepted the bout against Sunday night after injury. Tony Ferguson was hurt. So that's been a while though. And then Holloway's nutritionist. I'm wondering if one of them's gonna have to add weight. It's canceled Thursday after. Who's this? Chase. Michael.
Yeah.
So he's the one who. What happened to him? I don't give a fuck about Mario. Sorry, Mario. It's just you're not important at the moment. Regardless, it sounds bad. But let me see. Who's the one that got hurt? Decision made to pull.
Michael was hurt. I know that. I don't think the dude that was fighting with McGregor, I don't think he was fighting this weekend.
It wasn't? Okay, he might have been fighting in a different one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he couldn't have been fighting this weekend because then he would have been on the bus.
Yeah.
You wanna okay. So you got a video. Get rid of this ad. Chester's force. Anthony due to his lacerations to his face. Yeah, he had to pull. So Michael was the one who had to pull because he had cuts to his face. With card tatters. Yeah, basically. So McGregor does this dumbass thing, leads to all these other people losing their income and ability Yeah, well, I'm just wondering what what the UFC does in an event like this. Like, do they pay the people? Because they've done the promotion all the way up to now. The
I think they get paid per promotion, and then they get paid for the actual fight.
Okay, so they're losing their fight and the possibility of a fight bonus.
Yeah. Hey, get rid of that last message.
That's easily 50. This one?
Yeah, we don't need that.
Cool. I didn't know what it said. I didn't read it.
He was being racist.
Fantastic.
We don't need racists on here.
Yikes, bro. Hey, but still subscribe.
Yeah, still subscribe. We just can't have that.
Yeah, we can't have it on the live stream. Sorry, bro. I can't get rid of this thing, which is annoying AF. But let's use that to transition into, what do you want to go to next? The Boring Company?
I don't really see the correlation between the two, but yeah.
Let's transition, man. You go UFC, racism, boring. Ugh. Sorry, Elon, if you're watching this pre or live or whatever, or whenever, like, I mean, shoot to be an investor in SpaceX in like 5 years, but might be.
Elon, I love you. Come visit me.
This is getting weird. So what is the Boring Company, just for people who don't know?
So the Boring Company is this company that Elon Musk is trying to start up, and right now it's really expensive to drill tunnels in the United States and anywhere else, really, because they're trying to make the tunnels too big, and the equipment's not that great for it right now. And what Elon Musk is trying to do is make the tunnels smaller and make the equipment better, so that we can make the tunnels faster and easier, and also cheaper.
Right. Okay.
So he's making these tunnels to make high-speed rails underground, and these rails will like transport your car through the city underneath at 200 kilometers per hour, which is like 123 miles per hour, I believe.
Some odd.
Yeah.
Let's just do okay and keep talking. I'm gonna search this.
So what he's trying to accomplish is he's trying to get rid of the current problem of traffic that almost all Americans face, because we all know that's the most annoying thing ever. Yeah. And then he's trying to make it people's daily commutes easier. So like if you wanted to live in LA, but you wanted to live outside of LA, but you still wanted a job that was in LA. Yeah. You wanted a job that was outside of LA, but
also 200
inside LA, but you wanted to live
miles per hour.
124.
So yeah, you're spot on.
Yeah. So if you're living in LA, you're living outside of LA, and you wanted to have a job inside LA because it pays better or whatever, he wants to make that possible.
Right. Well, a lot of that is just from what I've seen and my research. If you guys don't know, I'm looking to be a mortgage loan originator in California this summer. So I've taken the education and applied for the real estate salesperson exam, and I'm currently in a mortgage course online, which is a pain in the ass, honestly. 90 minutes a day, and if you don't log in, you get dropped. But yeah, also you get logged out after 6 minutes of inactivity. Wow. So you have to be clicking something every 6 minutes for 90 minutes, or you're donezo.
That's crazy.
Yeah, after this tonight, I have to post in a blog discussion and take 2 quizzes before midnight, or I'm dropped from the course. Yes, that's when I said how late is late, and you said 7 p.m. I'm like, oh, we're fine. Okay. But like, because that'll take me 90 minutes at most. Right now, I've been doing about 45, which is a pain also, because then you have to log in afterwards and review everything. Otherwise, you won't get your 90 minutes logged.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like right now, this is day 3, and I've just been going like as long as it takes me. I think I only have like 45 minutes logged. So I'm going to have to find another 45 minutes to stay logged in, where I have to be switching something every 6 minutes. And basically, what the thing is California real estate is super expensive. Example, Pleasanton, California, 45 minutes outside San Francisco. To rent a place, the cheapest place to stay, it's going to be well over $2,000 a month. That's rental. And then you're looking at that's about 800 square foot. You're going to be looking at $2,500 a month renting. That's not buying. That's not having a nice place. That's just any place.
you have to be able to prove that you have 3 times that in income to rent there. So to rent a place at $2,500 a month, you have to be able to prove that you're making $7,500 every single month consistently to rent.
That's crazy.
Yeah, which is wild. And so that's outside San Francisco, but it's 45 minutes outside San Francisco with traffic. It could easily take you, if you're commuting into San Francisco, hour and 15 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, and
That's insane.
San Francisco property's higher. So if you're at a job only making $50K a year, you're gonna have to live in. You might be able to pull off Dublin, which is gonna add another 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe 30. Or you might have to go to Stockton or something like that. And no, maybe not. Yeah, it is Stockton.
That's where Nate Diaz is from, right?
Yeah, but you're gonna add like 2 hours commute there and back. So if they can put in the high-speed rail where you can get there in 30 minutes, those people will pay arm and a leg for it, because some of the areas out there aren't exactly safe. For example, I believe it's, I'm going to pull up a map before I talk shit, but let's bring this over here because this is going to take a second to type. But I think we don't have screen.
Yeah, but if Elon Musk can accomplish that, it's gonna make living possibilities different. Like, he's just doing so many innovative things.
Yeah, you see what it is? Is here's Stockton, right? You drive an hour and 2 minutes, you get to Pleasanton, and then you go from Pleasanton to the airport in San Francisco. You're looking at 49 minutes or an hour and 3 minutes if you don't want to pay the toll. All right, so let's say you're living in Stockton. You have a job that pays $50K a year, so you can't afford to live in Pleasanton. And you're commuting into San Francisco every single day. Let's say you're working at the airport. You are looking at 49 plus an hour, and you're looking at minimum an hour and 50 minutes commute there and back. That's 3 hours a day.
That's
now,
insane.
If we had the underground system, you got 50 miles plus another 50 miles. You're looking at 100 miles, less than an hour. You're taking a 2-hour commute and turning it into something like 48 minutes.
That's insane.
48 minutes from 2 to 2.5 hours. And right now it is, those are based on current time, so 2:17 p.m., so it's not even rush hour. So it's probably a 3-hour commute. So 6 hours of your day is driving, and we're going to turn it into 50 minutes each way. So you're cutting it in a third, really.
Yeah.
Which is insane just to think about, that they could even do something like that just by digging a tunnel. And so from what I understand from what you told me is that the tunnels, by regulation, they have to be a certain width.
They have to be a certain width because of having emergency medical services being able to go in.
So you need 2 lanes is the problem.
Yes.
Okay, so
with Elon's system, I don't think he needs that for some reason.
Well, that's because probably he has the system where you're transporting the car, and it's like a car wash where you get locked in and it transports the car instead of the car driving itself. What's interesting with that, let's jump to the California rail system. So basically, for those of you who don't know, California's been trying to implement a high-speed rail, which will be the slowest and most expensive high-speed rail in the world, in the entire world, the slowest and the most expensive. And they're currently $30 billion over budget at $64 billion. You heard that right, $64 billion to build this high-speed rail. And they're also behind schedule. And they when it was voted into to become a thing, their schedule was originally 30 or 32 billion. I can't remember the exact number. And that it would cost taxpayers $0 after it was built because it was going to be self-sustaining. That's also a lie. It's going to cost $100 million a year once it's finished being built. And it's 30 billion over budget. We're assuming that it's going to go over. And last year, 2017, they actually started selling bonds because they're completely out of money. They ran out of money after they're over budget and already got more money. And they're going to also require $100 million every single year to operate the slowest and the most expensive high-speed high-speed rail in the world. I keep switching up world and rail,
It's crazy, dude. And the other thing is they can't cancel their project because their justification is they've already put so much money into it that it would just be useless to it'd be cheaper to continue on with the project as opposed to scrapping it.
Right, and let's also tie in that they're forcing people to sell their land.
Yep.
Right, which the government can do.
Ranchers don't
So these are people. Yeah, ranchers don't want to sell their land because either one, it's been in the family for a super long time. Two, that's how they make their income. Three, they just like living on a ranch away from everybody. Or four, they're American and they say "fuck you" to the government. Why doesn't everybody do that?
God bless.
But
America.
God bless America, man. And basically, so but the government can force you to sell your land for the value that it's valued at. Which is by their appraisers, by the way. I don't know if most people know that, but when you do that, they actually send out government appraisers. They don't send out private appraisers, and you can have it privately appraised. I'm sure you can appeal it, but the government wins.
See, what you got to do is plant a whole bunch of trees on it because they have to pay you a certain amount of money per tree that they cut down.
I'm sure there's people who've done that.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure there's people. That's actually really smart. Just open up a tree farm.
Yeah, open up a tree farm right where their land is gonna be.
That'd be interesting. We should go buy the land from the farmers right now. Tell them that we're going to make a tree farm. Then when the government forces us to sell it, split the profits 50-50 with them.
It's a good idea. I think the trees have to be in the ground, though, for a certain number of years.
Yeah, we just need like $100 million so we can make it happen.
Easy.
But I can call some people. But there's an interesting video of Elon where he goes, we had to raise $50 million. It was a couple phone calls and the money's there.
Dude's insane.
Walking legend. And but basically, so once Elon puts in this underground system in each city, it's going to save people anywhere from an hour to 2 hours every single day. If he builds it between cities, that's probably going to piss off the government because they're high-speed rail.
Yep.
And that's going to be really funny, but I hope he does it.
Dude, did you hear that he was going to like try to buy Facebook and then just delete it off the internet? That's like the most petty thing I've ever heard of.
When did he say that?
I don't remember, but I remember reading about it.
I'm gonna look up their market value. What are they at right now? Oof, they're down.
Everybody's down right now.
Yeah, but their market cap is $456.67 billion. I don't know if you combined Elon with a couple other people and then threw in Bezos and maybe some of the old executives at Walmart and the other old executives at Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Elon helped start PayPal. So all the old executives at PayPal, I'm sure they could get a group of 20 to 50 people and buy that bitch right now.
Just
the whole thing.
Just
you only have to buy half of it.
We really don't need Facebook anymore anyways.
Yeah,
people who watches that are grandparents.
You need half the shares. So if their market cap, I wonder how many shares Zuckerberg owns.
We're Googling it right now.
I'm trying to see how much is public. Who owns Facebook? Zuckerberg. Facebook. Okay, Zuckerberg only owns 28.2%. This guy owns 10. This guy owns 7. So we're looking at, what are we looking at? 35 right now? 5, 40. Let's just call that 45. 50%. Okay, so the largest owner is going down to let's just say 2%, own about 55% of the company. I'm sure you could convince a few of those people to sell or just join your side.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get this guy to join your side, that's 10%. This guy, they put you at 7.6. If you got everybody except Zuckerberg to join your side, you really only have to buy probably 20% of the company. So you're looking at 20% of 400 billion. What is that? 20? That's 80 billion. That's easy. That's easy once you get a whole bunch of billionaires in the room. 80 billion, you pull the top. Bezos could buy that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, dunzo.
It's still a feat, but
you get Bezos, all the founders from Amazon, PayPal. Because I was looking at Amazon, there's guys who own like 15-16%. Now Bezos owns like half. But that's the perks of starting your own company and not needing capital injections, and also what Amazon's super fucking old, man.
Yeah.
And they
They've been
didn't go
around
public for the
forever.
longest time.
I remember when they were like mainly just a book company.
94. Yeah, I remember when they were a book company too. Netflix, I watched an interesting thing on Netflix today. They almost went out of business like multiple times.
Yeah, I heard a little bit about that, but not much.
Well, when they first started, they didn't have, everybody was still on VHS, and they only had DVDs. And so they didn't know if DVDs were going to take off because it was when they first introduced. So the owner bet that DVDs were going to take off because he had experience in the thing. And what started the whole thing was he got charged $40 for returning a VHS late.
That's crazy.
And he already had a whole bunch of money at that
How
point.
late was it? It had to be like
the video that I watched
months.
didn't say that. The video that I watched was also made by a third party, so that may not be reliable information.
Gotcha.
So check the sources on that if you're watching. We have one person watching. Nice.
One person.
One person's better than zero, man.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
It's better than it's better than my Twitch streams normally get. Speaking of which, follow me on Twitch, twitch.com/twitch.tv/when I kill you. It's my gamer tag. I'm not actually trying to kill you. But all right, so the Boring Company sells flamethrowers.
Yeah, they sell flamethrowers and hats. But they're only in a limited supply. Like I went to go get one of their hats because I was kind of excited about it.
They sold 50,000 of them.
Yeah, and they were already sold out. So I was like, shoot. I
Let's
should buy one on eBay.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not. They may be pretty expensive.
Yeah. But I just have a feeling that's going to take off.
The hat may still be
Is it back in?
Nope. What is this?
I have no idea.
There's a video below this. I know you guys can't see it, but
we're on the Boring Company website looking at their hats, and there's a video below it. And
I'm actually going to comment
looks
that.
like it's in French.
That's the link where we are if anybody watches this. And we'll see. I actually like the live stream a lot, honestly. Even though there's like one person in it,
it's still kind of fun.
It's fun, man.
Yeah.
I might just start live stream because also like sometimes I'll get an idea for a video. Like I wanted to teach people about mortgages and mortgage-backed securities because most people don't know what the fuck that is, and it could really fuck their life over.
Yeah,
not knowing about
mortgages are super important.
And so I'm learning about that stuff right now, and I've done a whole bunch of independent studies, and I've taken courses on it and stuff like that. And so I just want to do like reviews of courses and stuff, but I'm just gonna go live. Just go live, record it for 8 minutes, cut it off. Boom, dunzo. Let's do one with skateboarding with you. I want to do one with Zach on fire breathing.
Fire breathing.
Yeah, because we can just title it Lifr Basics or whatever it is. Yeah, this is their pod. Can I open this in YouTube?
Yeah.
How do I do that?
Actually, that doesn't look like a YouTube thing.
Yeah, I would just embed it in my own thing if I was Elon.
Yeah.
This is their...
But they have the...
If y'all want to see what we're talking about, these tunnels and stuff, follow this link right here. It's just https://Boring Company.
And they have like people carriers too, like trains,
right?
So you don't have to have a car, but then they also have the car ones.
Well, right now where I'm going to be living this summer, they have the BART,
like Bart Simpson.
And it would take me like it's slower than me driving to San Francisco. It only goes 35 miles an hour.
Ooh,
yeah, I know.
Why?
I know, but their annual ridership is 124 million. I don't think it's free.
Oh my gosh.
Why
would you ride?
Let's go fare calculator. Bro, you know what's really expensive is the tube in London.
I believe that.
If you don't have a pass, so I had a student thing, right? So it was still like $100 a month, and that was for unlimited rides. But if you don't, and you're just paying, if you don't have a card, it's £490.
That's crazy
per trip.
So like when
$490
going there and then going back,
it would be £10, so about $14. And then if you do have a card, but it's not on a membership thing, it's $290. So that's still, I mean, that's almost $10.
I mean, it's cheaper than having a car, but
yeah. So let's go Oakland to. Let's go. You could also live in Castro Valley, but there's a high probability you get shot.
Yeah,
not a joke. but it's sad. It is kind of funny though. Let's go. All right, actually, let's go from San Francisco to where I'm gonna be living. Does it even go to San Francisco?
Glen Park, SF.
San Francisco
Montgomery
Airport.
Street, SF.
Let's go on a Sunday at 2 p.m. 1175. That's if you have a Clipper. Senior disabled 440, youth Clipper. So right, if you don't have anything, it's 1225. And that is going to take you at 35 miles an hour. Slow. Let's do just round trip too. It's now 24.50. So there's not even a discount for doing round trip other than like 50 cents. That's brutal. Well, how long does it take though?
We're rebuilding, learning about the plan to reinvest Bart's aging system.
Oh, so they're going to have to redo that too. If y'all want to see what we're on right now, this is where we are. Oh, we have 3 people.
Hey, what's up, Jasper?
Who's Mason? Who's Jasper?
She was on drumline with me back
You're on
in high
drumline?
School. Yeah.
Sick, dude. Can you teach me?
I played tenor.
You still have your drums?
No, they were the school drums.
Oh, yeah. I wish they would sell those to kids, like at a discount, because they can definitely buy them at a discount.
They're expensive.
Yeah,
like,
I know,
you
but like
don't
even
wanna
if they
buy
can give you
those.
them for the price they bought them at, plus depreciation. So their plan, they're rolling up sleeves, right to work. Yeah, this literally doesn't even say anything. This is just marketing. Holy shit, $300 million in bonds. Ooh, wow.
People trust those government bonds.
Ugh. I wonder what the rate was. They're backed by the state of California. So trying out for tenor this year, dude.
Hey, that's where it's at. That's the fun stuff.
Nice. How old are they? They still in high school?
Yeah, they're still in high school.
That's cool. Welcome. I keep looking at the bottom camera, but
Yeah,
I'm
I do
actually
too.
looking at you.
This is my buddy Winston.
Hello, how are you?
He runs the podcast.
Yeah, this is subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe.
Like, comment,
you might
subscribe.
See me on it a couple times.
Yeah, Ian actually teaches Russian. If you go look at the Lifr Basics playlist, I'll actually put a link in the description right now.
You're loving these links.
Bro, links are the way well, they're actually the way to go. Quick SEO lesson for all of you who are starting a business, starting a company, starting anything. Linkless mentions are hot. In that you can Google's actually so smart now that they don't even have to have your link to share and know that people are talking about you. But so if you can get people to talk about your thing, for example, if you go write a Twitter about Lifr Podcast and you don't even link me, I'm not even salty. Because that's gonna help. There's the link to Ian's video. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's the first one we did.
Just
right?
kidding. It's not that bad, but yeah, it's the first one.
Yeah, so we were still working out.
There's also Arabic and French on there. We're adding Mandarin, hopefully German, as well as.
Ooh, I need to learn Mandarin.
Oh yeah, no, dude. I have a guy who does Mandarin. He's been doing it since high school.
Do you know anybody who knows Japanese? I want to learn Japanese. Stap.
Yeah. Stap knows basic Japanese.
Yeah.
My roommate may actually know basic Japanese, but just because I have 2 roommates who went on the trip.
Mm-hmm.
If I was staying here, I shouldn't talk about that on air actually. But yeah, no. So that's interesting. So you have a whole bunch of trains in California that are really poorly managed and cost a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? Let's talk about. You want to talk about SpaceX and colonizing Mars?
I think something that ties in better is the Tesla, like
the Roadster.
Or
just the company in general.
Just the company in general and like what they're doing right now.
Yeah. What you got about it?
So Tesla just released a couple months ago the plans to make semi trucks.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole goal of Tesla as a company is to reduce emissions by having fully electric vehicles that can be recharged. So having semi trucks that are fully electric, and I think they're trying to make them autonomous too, so they can just drive themselves.
Yeah,
and that's going to be a game changer for business because they don't have to pay for gas. They don't have to pay for truckers.
They don't have to pay for health insurance, taxes, state crossing state lines, people speeding, car accidents. That was a huge thing with, you remember the guy that's really funny? I don't know if it's Tracy Morgan
Tracy Morgan. That sounds familiar.
Let me see if it's the right picture. Yeah, Tracy Morgan. He was in a limo a couple years back. And they killed somebody.
Really?
Yeah, Walmart truck. Although it says Walmart got money back. So the Supercenter, Walmart ads. I don't care about my brain health. That sounds really bad to say. All right, so basically, Tracy Morgan was in the back of a limo. Walmart truck hit them, and it killed. Who did it kill here? His uncle Jimmy Mack, Jimmy McNair, who died in the 2014 crash. But it looks like it reached a settlement and then immediately failed to claim with its insurance. How? Who at Walmart let this slip through? But basically, so they got 10 million, although
for those of you who don't live in Arkansas, Walmart is a big deal.
Walmart's a huge deal. If you don't know what Walmart is, just search WMT, Fortune #1, baby. And the stock price is currently way down, by the way.
Yeah.
And basically, Walmart, the reason I brought them up is because they pre-ordered 15 of the Tesla semi trucks. And so with that, I mean, obviously, we have seen those fail very recently, actually. With Uber and with Tesla, both crashes killed people. And the autopilot was on both of them.
Really?
Yeah, with Uber, it was the tester. Actually, let me see. I'm not sure if the Uber... I'm not sure if the Uber was on autopilot. I know for a fact. Yeah, the Tesla was on autopilot. I'm trying to search for Uber here, bro. But was
I believe they're still working out like all the kinks.
We're on Wired. Fantastic. Yeah, the Uber one killed somebody as well. And so that's just like really concerning, especially for a company like Walmart, where if they now bring in a self-driving truck and it kills somebody, because Walmart is one of the biggest trucking in the nation as far as like their distribution layout. I mean, they have hundreds of supercenter or hundreds of distribution centers. I mean, they all do, but basically all the major companies do. But basically, if they didn't have to employ truckers, which is also a growing trend in that there's nobody who wants to be a trucker.
Yeah.
I
actually had a friend who.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like compared to what it used to be.
That's true. Yeah.
Because Walmart has 6,000 trucks.
My uncle's trucking now too.
That's sick, man. They pay really well.
That's what I've heard.
Let me search.
Because nobody wants to do it.
Yeah.
Yes, Jasper, I speak Russian now.
It says 46,200, and that was in 2015. How much truck drivers get paid? What does that say? I got to look at this. Per mile. That's if they do their own thing.
20 to 48 cents per mile.
How much does a Walmart? $76 grand a year.
Wow, that's more than a lot of people.
76 grand a year. What's the average?
It's like lower than 50,000 right now.
Average income,
right at 50,000.
Yeah, 50 grand. Wait, that's per person? I thought that was per family. That's actually pretty decent because if you get two people married making 50 grand each, that's pretty all right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not good, not enough to have a nice life, but it's enough to live.
Yeah.
That's concerning if they get up to $15 an hour, because if you have two people making $15 an hour, you're looking at 60 grand. So that means basically that everyone who gets a college education is going to want 60 grand.
Yeah.
Because you don't want two people who don't have a college education making more than someone who works or like if you have somebody who gets a college education, you don't want two people who work at McDonald's to make more than them because people are just going to stop going to college. That's a whole nother issue. I think college is pointless and worthless. Also huge waste of money because think about it this way. I get that this is off topic, but let me go on a rant. Let me go on a rant. All right. This is going to be cut and put in another section. I'm going to look at the camera. I'm going to tell you college is pointless. All right. You ready? Get this.
Depending on what you want to do.
So depending on what you want to do.
For business, college is pretty pointless.
But I'm going to even say that doctors shouldn't go to college.
That's
bold. I know. Lawyers, huge waste of time in college. Doctors, killing themselves in college. And they're coming out with $200,000 in debt, right? Let's say doctors don't go to college. How many years does it take to become a basic doctor? 7, right?
7 or 8, yeah.
7 or 8, right? So they're borrowing 25 grand a year. You're looking at 200 grand in debt. 200 grand in debt for a job. How much does the average general doctor make?
Upwards of 100,000, like over 100,000 per year, I think.
General doctor, 192. 192, right? So let's say you're paying 30% in taxes, which is really low. Taking home 134, and then you have housing, other expenses. Let's say you have high medical bills, and then your student loans. What is a payment? Student loan payment. I bet if this asked me to put in let's do what's the average? Let's say it's a 20-year term. Monthly payment is $1,400, right? So you're taking out $1,400 of your salary for the next 20 years per month. When in reality, you could have just, let's say at 18, because let's say I'm a fan of delete the whole education system entirely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can still have it, but people should be able to drop out at like 14 and do what they want. I'm also a big fan of people growing up. But all right, so let's keep it simple. Right?
You gotta stay off of the Antifa.
Yeah. You have right. So you have people, right? They're going in, they're sacrificing $1,400 a month of their salary for the next 20 years after they get out of 7 years of education to become a general doctor. In that time, let's say they just stayed with a doctor and did they also have to do a residency.
Yeah.
So they're looking at 8-9 years.
Well, the residency is paid usually.
Paid? Okay. But they're going to have to start paying back the student loans the second the residency starts.
I think so. I'm
So
not sure.
they're screwed. But all right, so let's just say you do a 9-year residency starting when you're 18. You're coming out at the same thing. Let's say they don't pay you for the first 7 years. No pay for 7 years. You have no debt except for what it costs you to live. You can still take out student loans, but you're cutting about 12 grand per year. 12 to 30 grand based on where you go per year of schooling costs. You're staying with doctors. You're learning what doctors do. At some point, they'll make you a nurse, then a head nurse, then etc. And you just progress your way through the system. You're going to know the same stuff. Lawyers, if people didn't have to go to college for law and they took those 7 years, still have the exam, right? Because Abe Lincoln passed the bar without going to law school. Little known fact. So you stay with 7 years, lawyer. You intern for 7 years. What more are you going to learn at law school? Nothing. You have the internet, right? I can search bar study help. 22 effective bar exam. Is it 5 things I did differently to pass the bar exam? Bar exam toolbox, bar exam study guide tips, critical pass. That's who you pay. You just pay them and you basically pass because you do their stuff. Bar review, bar prep course, free multi-state bar exam practice test, free. Amazon, the bar is easy. A straightforward guide on how to pass the bar. Save $3,000. Cost $10. $10. How to pass the bar.
$10.
Versus 7 years of school. Okay. And then, right, you have business students.
With businesses,
you
don't really need to go to business school, especially if you're starting your own business. Like getting hired into a business might be a little bit different, but if you're starting your own business, you don't need to go to business school. It can help, but ultimately you just need to have experience with business and experience doing things in business.
Yeah. But the way I see it is, if you start a business at 18, right? Let's say 12 grand a year is what it saves you to not go to college. That's 12 grand a year you can invest into your business. You take out a loan, somehow you can do a business loan, you can do a student loan, you can do a reverse mortgage, a whole bunch. There's a lot of, you can add a line of credit to your house. New thing, mortgage and trending, adding a line of credit to your house, which is fantastic, honestly, because like sign up the rich clients and watch the money come in. But so basically, you take that 12 grand, you invest it in any business. This podcast was started on a couple $100. If I had 12 grand to do this podcast right now, we would be flying.
Oh yeah.
We'd be, I guarantee you we'd probably be near 100,000 subscribers. We would have top of the line equipment. We'd have better mics. We'd have a processing system. We'd have multi-cameras switching around the room. This whole thing would be soundproofed. And the camera quality would be 1080. It'd be 4K at 60 FPS. Your voice, I mean, most YouTubers who have under 1 million followers probably have not spent 12 grand on their YouTube. They maybe spent a couple $1,000 tops.
Yeah.
And so if you just had that 12 grand freed up, you could start a consultancy. You could learn SEO on your own. You could learn programming on your own. You could learn how to build computers on your own. You could learn law. If you're interning with a law firm, you could give legal advice, although you need to be a lawyer to do that, and I support that. But you could start your own law consultancy firm in which you find people who have questions and you take them to the lawyers, and then the lawyers actually answer them, and you just take a commission. You could do drop shipping, which is where you advertise a product on your website. And then when you sell it, boom, you drop that order to the actual company that sells the products. They ship it, hence drop shipping, and you get the money, right? So let's say you get the product, you make contract with the people, you can get the product for $20. You don't even have to have it in your stock. You sell it for $25, hold $2.50 for taxes, spend $1 on whatever, and you're making $1.50 every single time you sell it. You sell 1,000 products, you get $1,000. And with 12 grand, you could set up shop on Shopify, easily make a profit, $50,000 a year. Easily. And so the way I see it is, you go to college, they tell you how to do management, they tell you how to do finance, they tell you how to do accounting, they tell you how to do investments, they tell you how to do videos, they tell you how to pay your taxes, they tell you how to do everything so that you do it their way, so that you do it the way that everybody before you did it. And what are they training you to do? In my opinion, they're training you to be average, because what does the person come out of college do? Be average. You're a little bit above average, but you're average, because these days basically everybody has a college degree. Yeah. Although still well over half America doesn't. But in our generation, everybody just gets pushed into college. And then you can also go be a welder. That in my school, we were super blessed. They had a program that started at 16 or 17. Mm-hmm. By the time you're a year out of high school, you're a certified welder. You're making 50, 60 grand a year.
You just gotta do what you want to do. Like if you want to go to college and you want to get that extra education, sure, go for it, kill it.
Fair point.
If you don't want to go to college, like, and that's not for you, and you know that's not for you, just don't go.
Yeah, the fair point.
Do something else.
Fair point. And Ian's in college. I support the reason Ian's in college. Ian's in college because he wants to be an officer.
Yeah.
And so you can't be an officer if you don't have a college degree, mm-hmm. right?
I'm in the Army ROTC program, so as soon as I graduate, I'll commission as an officer in the Army, and it's paying for all of my school. It's paying for my room and board. It's a good deal.
Yeah. And so if you're either going into the Army or you get scholarships, go for it, man. Mm-hmm. Because that's, I mean, not only is it noble, but it's well paying. And if you stay in for 20 years, let's say you stay in for 20 years, you get a pretty decent portion of your salary forever.
20 years, you get retirement. Yeah.
Okay. You don't get anything after like 10 years, 5 years? You get free college.
You still get like the benefits, but I don't think you get like any payments.
Right. Okay. But I mean, what does it take for free college? 5, 4?
So once I graduate, I'll spend somewhere between 6 to 8 years in the military.
Okay. And you could probably find a way to do that as even reserves.
Oh yeah. So with the Army ROTC program, you can either go active duty, reserves, or National Guard. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of options there.
Yeah.
So I encourage people to enlist in ROTC. But yeah, so college, basically, if you want to be business, not really worth it. And I think we're going to see that more and more often, because MIT actually has a program now. You can take 5 online courses. I'm doing it this summer. So stay tuned. If this works out, know I predicted it, and write down your goals. That's something I really get on to everybody about, is writing down their goals. It's kind of annoying, but it works.
It does get annoying when he emails you at 3 o'clock in the morning, like, "Hey, send me your goals.
Send me
I
your
need
goals,
it right
man.
now."
I need
like,
it.
"Oh my god,
I need it. I need to see what people's goals are, man." So I know
it's 3 in the morning.
in my opinion, like you can't hit a target you're not aiming for.
Yeah.
And so like even if you just pick a broad target, it's better than not picking anything.
That's true.
And
true.
And so, I mean, technically you could hit a target you're not aiming for, but like good luck. And
it's like spinning it around in the room and with it blindfolded with a dart and just throwing it. And
yeah,
you might hit the target, but
right,
you might not.
And I mean, basically anybody you know that's successful has put in the work either on their own time or separately. For example, Martin Shkreli, he went to college for like business or something. Big Martin Shkreli guy. And where did he go to college? What does it say on here? It's their career. Doesn't even mention his college, basically. All right, he got a BBA in finance and economics from not a very great college in 2004. But basically what he did was he taught himself chemistry. He also taught himself a whole bunch of other things, and he applied those to become a biofarm CEO. Right? You're not going to be a biofarm CEO without knowing business, chemistry, how to make pills, obviously, marketing, management. And so you got to teach yourself your things on these own. And so my thing is, why can't people just teach themselves the other things as well?
A lot of people don't have the drive to teach themselves.
Yeah, and that is, but I think those are the people who come out of college and they just get a regular job anyways. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. If you want to focus on your family, if you want to, like, let's say your parents were never there when you were a kid. If your entire life goal is just to be there for your kids, good, do it. But like people who want to go and be successful in business, I think the best way to do it is to just do business.
Yep. Experience is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That's what companies look for. That's what like other like investors and stuff look for. Like
my dad, for example, he gets turned down from a lot of jobs because he has a high school degree and an associate's degree that I think he got kind of BS because he went to college for a little while, dropped out, started in computer business. And so in some aspects that holds him back from jobs, but the current job that he has, he got hired over 2 people who had MBAs. Those are the final 3 they took to the final interview, was him and 2 guys with MBAs. He beat them both because he has so much experience, and they'd gone to college, gone to business school, no work experience.
Yeah.
And it's a managerial position implementing information systems into new warehouses of companies that company is buying. My dad's been doing that for 20 years. So which one are you going to pick? And that's why I think it's so hard for many people coming out of college to find jobs, is because there is a small section who either they have a connection to their parents, or they were in the military, or other things where they have work experience, or they have other credentials that help them stand out, or they did internships. And I think that helps them get a job.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you don't have an internship these days, good luck getting a job. And that, because the college education doesn't teach you anything as far as what relates to that specific business.
Yeah, you gotta at least have some experience. Like college will teach you some concepts, but until you're actually like physically doing it, you're not gonna learn it.
Right. And I mean, that's the whole thing with as far as like SPV setup, which is a special purpose vehicle. Companies will set them up so that they can keep stuff off their balance books so that it doesn't impact like their stock price and how most people look at them. And that I took a online course about it that was pretty accurate. I've taken courses at Arkansas that mention it, and then I've actually done it. And the online course was reasonably accurate, but that's because it's taught by somebody who used to do it and with the intent of preparing people to actually do it. And it was focused specifically on those things, but doing it in real life was completely different. And that there's all these steps you have to go through for like the evaluation process. Skip it. And just like not specifically, don't skip the evaluation process. Definitely do that multiple times over, but other things related to that you just don't need. And I think to a certain extent, like learning another language like Russian, I think that helps you think. So maybe have programs for that, or just follow Lifr podcast on YouTube.
Shameless plug.
And whatever, I'll get off my college rant now. But
let's talk about SpaceX.
I want to talk about the Tesla Roadster first.
Okay.
All right. So this new Tesla Roadster, right? 0 to 60 in 1.9.
That's insane.
That's 0 to 60 in 1.9.
But just think about it. Like when you're driving it, you don't have that rev of the engine. Like it's just quiet and it goes 0 to 60.
Yeah.
That sounds terrifying.
0 to 100 in 4.2. I'm gonna compare this for y'all. What do you think, Ferrari or Lamborghini's faster?
Probably Ferrari. I think Lamborghinis are more show.
We're gonna do a 458 0 to 60 and quarter mile times. All right, let's go. I want to do the current ones. I don't want to look through the old historics. What do I look like, a nut job? All right, 0 to 60 in 3.0, quarter mile in 11. That's the 2013 F12. I don't want the F12. I want the 458. Where's that at the top? No, those are the twos. It's probably going to be at the bottom. This is a terrible website.
If you guys are wondering why we're looking like down here, we have a TV set up so we can see the computer screen.
List of fastest cars by acceleration. All right. Here we go. Year, model, independent time. Porsche 911 Spider, 2.2 seconds, 2.28. These are the fastest cars in the world.
The Tesla Model X is the second fastest.
Yeah. Model S.
Yeah, Model S, yeah.
Model S. But that's with an update. And so that's 2.28, right? And then that's with a manufacturer time of 2.5 and 2.4. So this guy is looking, these are going to go 1.9. So that is 20% faster than the fastest car in the world ever.
Holy cow.
And their quarter mile time, 8.8 seconds. You can go a quarter mile in 8.8 seconds.
And you don't have to pay for gas.
Which is just phenomenal. Now, base price is where it's going to hit you 200 grand. And then if you want a Founders Series, 250 grand. Oof. The Founders have to pay all cash up front too.
That's crazy.
But, I mean, 200 grand isn't that terrible for the fastest car in the world because you're looking at its comparisons.
Oh, yeah, like the Bugatti Veyron of like above
2 million.
1 million.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty decent.
Insane.
All right, now we can hop on to SpaceX.
Okay, SpaceX. So that's Elon Musk's company. Yeah, today's an Elon Musk kind of day.
Yeah. Also, I'm putting the link for the Roadster.
Okay.
Just if anybody sees that, there is the link for the Roadster. You'll probably hear the audio after you see the comment, though. So there you go. But all right, let's talk about SpaceX.
So it's Elon Musk's company that he's created to try to make space travel cheaper. Space travel cheaper. So one way he's doing this is by reusing space shuttles, reusing different parts, making things like if he flies something up, the part will come down and it'll land, and then he'll re-land the rocket. So like it's reusing all that material.
Because NASA doesn't do that. They just blow it up.
It like falls off and just goes into the ocean. Yeah. It just goes into the ocean and is lost forever.
So some giant squid finds it and goes, sick, bro.
Yeah,
giant squids have rockets.
Oh my gosh. That should be the title of this stream.
Giant squids have rockets. No, dude, there's some crazy conspiracies out there.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I don't. There's people who say we've never been to the moon. There's people who say the Earth is flat.
Ooh. Those are my favorite.
Oh,
all you have to do is shoot a gun and you see that the Earth's not flat because there's the curvature of the Earth, so it makes the bullet drop. And so
they would say that it's just like the gun,
just
the
gravity.
Drops, yeah, but they don't believe in gravity because the Earth is flat, so there's no such thing as gravity.
What?
Well, like that has to be like a common thing because if the Earth was round, right, and there's gravity, it makes sense. Because you can stand on one side because you're being pulled towards the middle.
Yeah.
But if the Earth is flat, they can't believe in gravity. Like that just doesn't make sense. How would you think that the Earth is flat and believe in gravity? Because if you believe in gravity, it opens the possibility that the Earth isn't flat.
True.
And so I just don't think any flat earthers believe in gravity. So I don't know how they feel like they get pulled down. Maybe it's government.
We should just send them to space and be like, okay. Well, okay.
No, this leads into the
Mars thing. So
they're gonna deny it, man.
Elon Musk is trying to colonize Mars, right? So he's trying to get people on Mars and like create an atmosphere for it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be so cool, but they're kind of like low on volunteers. Just send all the flat earthers out to space.
No, bro, they have a ton of volunteers. They have like 200,000.
Well, they're still like they need more.
Yeah, true.
Like
if they want to colonize,
yeah, 200,000 is not quite enough.
Yeah, true.
But
true.
Just send the flat earthers out to space, and then be like, okay, if the world is round, then you guys have to stay in space. But if it's flat, then you can come back to Earth.
That's how we get rid of flat Earth. What if we go up there and they're like, no, you tricked us. This is an illusion. You put us on drugs and we think the Earth is round. And these are screens. Those aren't real. I feel like they deny it to the end, man. And they get to Mars and go, Mars is round. Yeah.
Mars is round. Earth is flat.
I'm gonna search that. Do flat earthers think Mars is round?
I think the moon is flat.
Oh, do they think the moon is flat? Flat earthers claim solar eclipse just proved Earth is flat. Oh no, this is a Forbes article. Oh no. Let's see. Yesterday, the United States witnessed magnificent. This is from the. I'm gonna post this as well. There's gonna be so many comments from the channel on this. But yesterday, the United States witnessed magnificent. Group of Earthers believe solar eclipse will be final. Exclamation point, proving the Earth is flat. Most flat earthers agreed something fishy is going on during a solar eclipse, and the way the media and science are portraying it, leaving the chance to unveil the which includes our atmosphere, the sun, the moon, and the stars.
Wow.
Some make a religious argument for a flat earth, stating that the Bible tells us the earth is the center of the universe and holy statue, whatever.
Does it say that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Maybe certain if you rewrite it, it does.
Or if you interpret it in a certain way.
Yeah, it does. The first argument is rotating west to east. If the earth is rotating west to east, this is way too complicated for me to read right now and digest. Second argument,
because you're not smart enough to comprehend the flat earth.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. It's just I can't. I'm so.
This is why you believe the earth is
I'm
round.
educated by the system who tells me that the earth is not flat, and so I have lost all ability to think critically and determine that the earth is flat because it's the only possibility that makes sense, man. Yeah. Think about it.
Oh, that was loud.
Yeah, that was probably super loud. Sorry if you're watching this wearing headphones. But you can't sue me. I hope not. All right, so SpaceX is trying to colonize Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Let's I want to put on a video of Elon talking about on colonizing Mars. Let's see what this says. I hate ads. This is from September. Updates colonizing Mars plans. He didn't release a video? Okay. Musk plans to colonize Mars relies on large market codenamed BFR, which blast. It's for big fucking rocket. I guarantee it's for big fucking rocket. They had the Model S, X, and then they made the Model E, and then they were told that they're going to get sued. And they already copyrighted they copyrighted Y as well. This is on a video I watched the other day, and so they're gonna have it was like Ford or something, and he goes, oh, Ford's trying to stop sex. Okay.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Basically
one thing that I heard that they're trying to do is they're trying to make it so affordable for people to travel to Mars that it's like it'll be the same price as like buying an average size house, like $200,000.
Well, you get to claim the land when you're there. My thing is if SpaceX lands there first, can they claim the whole world?
I mean, you can kind of do whatever you want whenever there's nobody to stop you.
Yeah, but like if SpaceX can claim Mars, I need to be an investor now.
Well, they don't have a publicly traded company yet.
Yeah, I know, but like that's why I bought Tesla shares.
Yeah,
because there has to be a tie there. Just like think about it. If you could claim all of Earth, and now you put it over to another place,
But if you get enough people on there anyways, that's not going to be able to happen.
No, you sell it to them, or you give them plots of land for free because they paid $200,000 to get there.
Yeah.
Say it includes a house, and then like you could even own the land. Say they just own the house, no rights to land because SpaceX owns all the land. That's called money. That is my wow. I want to see somebody find me something in comments over yonder or something.
That one viewer.
The one viewer. If you can find something on SpaceX, let me know on whether or not they plan to colonize Mars.
They do plan on colonizing Mars.
But like if they plan to keep the land.
Oh, yeah.
I bet he hasn't released anything on it because he's
No.
probably talking about it with legal people.
He's probably like, "Can I do this?
Can I just take all of it?"
It's unprecedented in the business world.
Because you think about it, whenever people landed somewhere new, they just took it. Or they killed the people who were there and then took it. I wonder if you'd see something like that. If you'd see like an attack by North Korea to take Mars from SpaceX.
We just blow Mars up.
Yeah, well then no, that would fuck up the gravity. But the Earth is really flat, so
yeah. So there's no such thing as gravity.
No such thing as Mars. Mars doesn't exist. Mars is a fiction of it's something of our imagination, a figment of our imagination. All right, so what else do we have to talk about?
I think that was mainly it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost our viewer.
Oh,
brutal.
We asked too much of them.
That's too much. But yeah, all right. Well, this is we should call these Lifr Live.
Lifr Live. I like
Lifr Live episode 1.
Uno.
1. And next time come back and post questions and stuff so we can talk.
Yeah, talk with us.
And,
we just had one weird racist Russian dude and my friend Jasper. So
yeah. We had other people, they just didn't comment.
Yeah, you guys should comment.
But so yeah, we should do this on a regular. You want to do this on a regular basis, Lifr Live?
That sounds fun.
Are you free most Fridays? All right.
At least for a little while.
You free next Friday at 2?
What weekend is next Friday?
Let's see the calendar.
I'll get back to you.
Next Friday is 14th.
I feel like I have something going on, but I'm not sure.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tune in next time to Lifr Live. This is episode 1. Episode 2 will probably be tonight, honestly. But it says Lifr Live with Ian Mannecke.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Peace.
And ask more questions.